I hope everything is well over there, Obong. Trust that you are happy with. I hope you are monitoring your JDX board and everything is in order there.
Yes, doctor. Yes, good
Awesome.
good evening over there. Yes, I'm happy. I'm always happy.
Yeah,
You know,
because
I'm always happy.
we have. I think we have waited right for the price to come down and what to say. And
Yes,
sometimes, right? Sometimes it seems impossible. But nevertheless, right? I think we basically we are seeing, every time we are waiting, right? And the price comes down, and this time around, the dump is really massive.
yeah,
I think about 1.5 billion.
massive. Mm,
1.5 billion positions were liquidated.
unbelievable.
So yeah, it's good to see all our
Unbelievable.
positions, right? Everyone actually closed in massive profit after we waited around 12 days, if I'm not
Profit.
mistaken. Yeah. So this is the reality.
Yeah.
The
I
reality.
didn't even yes. Yes, I didn't even know. I logged on to my Binance. I didn't know I logged on to my Binance. I would answer that I had like 3,000 worth of BTC there. Today I quickly moved it to Bitgate immediately. I didn't even know I have
Okay.
some. I quickly moved it to JDS bot immediately. I divided it
Oh,
to
okay. That is great. That means that you might not know when was that Bitcoin was there, you know?
yes.
And
So I
thank
quickly
goodness.
moved it instead of being there without nothing. At least
Yeah, thank goodness.
JDS bot will be making
Thank goodness the
some
price
profit
of
there. Good.
Bitcoin has gone up. Yeah.
Yes. So you've done well for us. You've
Yeah, it's
done
good.
well. Seriously,
So far
patience
it's good.
is
And
key. Is
you see
just wonderful.
the understanding between the strategy and also the market is very important, because you can see that although strategy wise we might have the best strategy, and also if you look into the entry price and the market price, our positions is very close to the market price. But the thing is that the market don't want to go down. So you can see how they manipulate the market. They were just moving sideways, get everyone, frustrated.
Yes.
And then everyone thought that the market is going to go up, and then suddenly they dump everything.
Well,
So that is how the market works. You see, even our team, right? Some of them can even get frustrated, because imagine, right? We are waiting, but we can't do anything, because if we don't want to do anything, because the entry price and the market price is already closed. So there is no
yeah.
point to do anything, right? So the only thing that can be done is to wait. All right. So as I always say, right, in waiting, money is made. So
Money is made. Absolutely.
yeah, so this is
Absolutely.
important. I think this is one of the greatest lesson for our team. So just imagine, right? If we would actually follow our emotion, we might have become part of that 1.5 billion that got liquidated. You see that?
Absolutely.
So while
Absolutely.
everyone is liquidated, we actually were reaping huge profit. I think
I'm telling you.
for this month, this closure was actually one of the biggest profit delivered to our community.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
one of the biggest profit.
Fantastic. Was
Yeah,
was fantastic. I woke up and saw. I said, "Wow,
yeah,
the three bot closed all in profit." And when I woke up to see, I said, "Wow,
yeah. But
patience is real key. Real
this
key."
is the true reality of how the strategy is working. But and on top of that, as I mentioned, right, sometimes you can be the best trader, you can have the best strategy, but market is still in control. So So strategy versus the market, right? Sometimes you have to just wait. Okay, so if we are patient enough, because please understand, okay, profit is transferred to the patient. Okay, losses is transferred to the impatient. All right. So if you are patient, then the market will then reward you with profit. But if you are impatient, then the market will still reward you, but reward you with losses. You see that? So that's why patience is so critical, in trading. While we have the best strategy in place, so you can see that some people think that the bot is not working, nothing is happening because they are thinking that if I don't see the profit, then the bot is not working. That is not how we think. Even if you don't see the bot, even if you don't see the profit, for that past 10 or 12 days, actually the bot is doing the DCA and the bot is also doing the hedging. The reason why the users are able to see huge profit because there was a huge order size that is waiting to be closed. So that's why when the market reverses, right, it actually secured all those order size and the profit was actually multiplied. So that is the concept here. So I think people are starting to understand how JD Export works actually.
Absolutely, it was fantastic. I woke up to see three. I was really happy. Woke up to see the three board close all in profit. I said, wow.
Yeah, absolutely right. So that's why sometimes, right,
Fantastic,
we
fantastic.
must never underestimate the market and also the price, because sometimes, right, I see a lot of traders, right, they say that, example, right, just look at, for example, uh, some of these like Ethereum, Solana, and so on, right? You see that the gap between the entry price and the current market price can be very big. And when the gap is so big, right? Sometimes we think that, right, the price will never get back there again. And people may have doubt, how possible it is that the price can get back there. Please understand, right?
Yeah.
Never underestimate Bitcoin. So as I always say, right, Bitcoin doesn't care.
Yeah.
Bitcoin doesn't care. So that is the reason why you can see that, that's the reason why those who patiently wait, they will be rewarded. You see that? So that's why I mentioned, right? The patients are rewarded with profit. The impatience,
Profit.
what to say? Um, um, they are basically what to say, punished, right? So one is the reward, the other one is punished, right? So the patients are rewarded with profit, whereas the impatient are punished with the losses, right? So that's why we saw 1.5 billion that was actually liquidated, and then, right, while the market got liquidated, here we are, right, still standing, and our bot secured all the profit. I think if I'm not mistaken, JD Export delivers about $12,000 in profit to all our community, which is what to say. We don't have a big number of bots that is running, but our asset under trading, we are now trading close to about $150,000. So just imagine, right? We actually delivered close to about 10%. I think about 9 to 10% of that asset under management in just this time around. So this is one of the biggest profit that was actually delivered to the community. So this is great because can you see how the community is rewarded because of trusting the process? That's the most important, right? Anyone who come into JD Export, they must trust the strategy, they must trust the process. Yes, they will have a lot of questions. This is not like normal trading. Things are not different. Why is it that JD does not follow technical analysis and all this nonsense, right? But at the end of it, it's not about TA, it's not about those things, guys. At the end of it, my question is very simple, right? Is your available balance increasing or is your available balance reducing? That's all. If your available balance is increasing, then your strategy is correct. If your available balance is reducing, even you have the best strategy, you have the best TA, so what? Who bothers, right? At the end of it, you are still at the losing end. So that's all. At the end of it is all about profit, right? So that is important. Okay, so now some users, they also some traders, right? You can see them, they waited for too long, and then when the price moves in their direction, they start to have the fear that the market will move against them again. So what they do, they will then close the position at break even. Come on, guys. You waited for 7 days, for 10 days, for sometimes months just to break even. You just don't have a business sense. Now, please understand, right? Trading is business. Trading is business. In business, you are only there to profit. You are not even there to break even. So why people break even? Why they put stop losses? Because of fear, right? They fear that they're going to lose more, or they fear that market is going to go against me. The reason being is that they don't really know the game they are playing. That is the problem. You see that? So that's why we waited, right? We waited. I think this time around we waited about 12 days, not because of the strategy. We waited because we were forced to wait by the market. You can see, right? So you can see the price, the entry price and the market price were so close, yet the Bitcoin price didn't come down to our entry price. So that we know that something was wrong. There was a manipulation in the market. And then you see what happened, right? As the consolidation was going on, the whale just dumped the whole thing, and about 1.5 billion got liquidated. I think all these people who actually long, they were thinking that Bitcoin is going to go to 120,000. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. Now, remember, now let me just, sorry guys, let me just bring you to the, okay, let me just bring you back, right? Because remember, right, on Thursday, right, I did explain on this subject, right? I did explain to you, and I did told the team very, very clearly, right? So if you look, right, now this is the daily chart. I told you somewhere over here, right, that if Bitcoin go above, and it need to confirm and stay there for at least 4 or 5 days, right? Then it will be bullish. Then it will be bullish. But look at it, okay? After that meeting, we saw the Bitcoin start to dump, and then it is confirmed. Can you see that? It goes down. Doesn't mean it is confirmed yet, because we need to wait until this candle close, and the next day you can see it is confirmed. All right, it is confirmed. So then if you look at the 4 hours right now, this is interesting, right? Or even we go on the 1 hours, right? Sorry, let me just go 4 hours. So now this is interesting because you can see over here, right? Come on, guys. Just imagine, right? Just imagine price is moving in the sideways for how many days? Can you just imagine? So this is where people get frustrated. And then over here, right? You can see over here. Now, over here, right, is where I think the game started, right? People were waiting. And then everybody thought that it is going to go up. And here we already have a position, right? Waiting here, right? Because we want to close this position because we took the short. We never take the long. So this is where when the dump happened, right? We close all our position. All right. But a lot of the people who actually bought up and they thinking that Bitcoin will go to 120,000, they actually lost. That is about 1.5 billion losses that took place just in this drop. All right. Now please understand, okay? although, right, although people say, as I mentioned, right, there is a diminishing return, but there is a huge penalty if the price goes down. That's why, although you can see that the price that went down here can be about 5 or 6%, but the losses can be huge because the asset price is no longer cheap, it is now expensive. You see that? So the small move, right, can actually create a huge impact or huge losses for the institution, especially because they are playing a big game here. All right. So with that also, we saw the Bitcoin dominance, right? You see, Bitcoin dominance is starting to go up. All right. So if Bitcoin dominance starts to go up, that means that a lot of this altcoin will start to actually come down. So if you look into the total tree, can you see the total tree represent, the altcoins? Okay, this is after the taking away the Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? So these are the total tree. So you can see even the altcoin actually suffered when Bitcoin goes down, right? So that's the reason why I mentioned to you guys that please understand, okay, I don't think the bull run has started yet, right? Has started yet. We are probably seeing, Bitcoin. We might what I anticipate now is that Bitcoin will actually go up again. All right, Bitcoin will go up. It can either go back to 120, 24,000, or even it can actually go up to about 116 or 115,000. This range over here. All right, so just watch, okay, this range over here. You can actually go back over here, and then we could see a major dump. All right, we could actually see in this way, retest this level again, and then we could actually see another huge dump. All right, because I think Bitcoin will actually go back to high likely. Okay, if you look at it at this CME gap, which is 92,000. Right, this 92,000 level could be a significant level, and also it will retest again the 100,000 psychological level, right? This is important level, right? So because you see the institution is trying to defend this level, they will try everything possible to keep Bitcoin above 100,000. Okay, but at the same time also, there are sellers who are waiting to sell. Okay, so this level I likely will be tested. Now, once it goes down, right? So what is going to happen? Once it goes down, Bitcoin dominance will go up. A lot of altcoins will now starts to crumble down. All right, so that's why now is the time. Okay, if you ask me, right, if you want to get into altcoin, now is the time for you to get ready to get into altcoin and buy altcoin at a cheaper price when the price is coming down. That's why I'm introducing some of those coin that I believe that will have a huge value, because when Bitcoin actually move into the bull run, all right, this could be quite massive. Okay, it can go maybe 135,000. It can even go 150,000. We never know. And then we could see the cycle ends. All right, the cycle will end. Okay, then we will then start a new cycle all over again. So this is just my perception or my hypothesis of the market. I'm not saying that this will happen or this will not happen, but it's just my hypothesis. And so far, right, a lot of this hypothesis has been playing out, okay, perfectly, right? So that is what happened. But what I want to really tell the team is this, guys, that what I really want the team to know is this, that you see that, okay, waiting is so critical, because waiting is also part of the trading. All right. So some people, they don't want to wait. All right. They don't want to wait. But the problem is that people don't understand that when you wait, something is happening behind the scene. All right. Something is happening, right? So if you look into JDX bot, although yes, we are waiting, but please understand there are DCAs going on, there are hedging going on. So that's the reason why we saw the huge profit, because why? When we do the DCA, it add orders and bring the entry price closer and closer to the market price. So that's the reason why we waited, because we are positioning ourselves, our entry price, closer and closer to the market price, you see. So that is what is happening. All right. So when we are positioning, which means that trading is still taking place, although you are not seeing the profit being secured. So please understand. So waiting, some people wait without activity, but we are waiting. There are activities going on. You see that? So that is important. So when we do that, when we do the DCA, we are bringing the entry price closer, right, to the market price. So now we are actually positioning ourselves. If the price goes down, then we close all those at orders, right? All those position size. There is a huge position size waiting to be closed. All right. So this is a very important insight that I want the team to understand. Now, please understand, as I always say, right? In waiting, money is made. Sometimes the longer you wait, the more money you make. All right. But also please understand that based on the strategy, right? We have the sub account, we have the main account. So if you, some of you, right, even reach out, right, and say that why my sub account is now depleted. Yes, because we are using your sub account to actually do the DCA. All right, now please understand that if your sub account is only 50% of the main account, where we recommended minimum 50, right? But we recommended for you to maintain 100%, which is 1-to-1, right? So if your main account is $200, then it's always good to have another $200 in your sub account. Okay, but even that $200, if you can have more, especially if you are busy, you are working and so on, right? Then you can actually put more. It doesn't matter, because at the end of it, your sub account, it is your money. You can actually remove this fund at any time you want, because you guys are in control of your main account and the sub account. But what I'm trying to say is this: if your sub account is 50%, which means if your main account minimum is 200, your sub account is 100, that means that your 50% will get depleted faster. So high likely, right? Example, we have actually designed about 17 DCA. But because your sub account is 50%, high likely your DCA will be 5 or 6. That is it. So at 5 or 6 DCA, you will see that your sub account is depleted. Now, can you top up your sub account? Yes, you can immediately top up. But also please understand, right? When your sub account is depleted, if you look into your main account, you can see your main account is no longer 200. It can be 200, 250, it can be 280, it can be 230, because remember, your fund is now being transferred into the main account. Now, when your available in your main account is greater, your estimate liquidation is pushed further away. So remember that. So that's the reason why. So once 5 or 6, right, at orders or DCA is done, then you start to see your sub account is depleted. But those who have 100% in their sub account, they could actually go further the DCA. They can probably go 9 or 10 DCA, while yours is only 5 or 6 DCA. Can you see that? So that makes a lot of difference, right? Now, please understand that when your sub account is depleted, then what happened? When your sub account is depleted, JDXBot now will use your main account, right? That is how the strategy works. So JDXBot will use the main account. Now, if JDXBot use the main account, now JDXBot will have to monitor your estimate liquidation price. And for this new strategy, we are keeping the estimate liquidation 25,000 points away from the mark price. Okay, let me just show you that so that you understand what am I trying to say here, right? Because this is part of the presentation. So I'm trying to see if I can take this presentation approach a little bit different, just to help you to understand. Now, so if you look over here, right now, if you look, for example, right, this position, right, this BTC USDC, right, USDC position here. Now, if you tap this button, right, you can see we can go to order history. Now, in this order history, you can see that, okay, we close, right? We close the position, right? Now, please understand that we close the long position, then we open, we close the short position, then we open, right? You see that we open, yeah. So we open the long. So you can see the long here, right? 1, 2, and 3. So that means right now, please understand when we open the long, this is the initial position. All right. We open long, we open short. So it's an initial position. So initial position is not the DCA. All right. So initially what we are doing here, we open two positions at the same time, right? We call this an arbitrage hedging position. So we open at the same time, the same order size, 1%. All right. So now, then we can do the DCA. So you can see this is the number one DCA. This is the second DCA. So far, for this bot, right? This bot already 2 DCA. Already 2 DCA. Now, if you look at it, right, the margin, which is the amount, right, is actually around $29. Because please understand, it's already 2 DCA. So that means the order size has already increased. But look at the entry price and the mark price. We are just around about $500 away. That's all. 500 points away. So if the Bitcoin price, we are now actually already in profit by right. Okay, we are already in profit. We are above 500 points away. Why is this happening? Because of the DCA. Okay, because the original entry price is 140. Can you see that? This is the original entry price. But because we did the DCA, we brought the price down to 112. Can you see that? So 2 DCA brought the price down by almost about 2,000 points. So this is important. Now imagine, right? If this ROE becomes 35%, we will close both of these positions in profit, actually. It will be a 100% win rate. So please understand, we have mixed between 50% win rate and 100% win rate into the new strategy. So you will not see 100% all will become a win rate because it depends when the hedging takes place, depends the situation. But nevertheless, whether it is a 50% win rate or 100%, it is still will be a net profit. Okay, still will be a net profit. So that is important. So that's why if I bring you back to this USDC, right? If I bring you back to this USDC and you go to the futures account and you go to the USDC, right? And check your P&L. So you can see the trading analysis. So you can see this is the recent position that we closed. If you tap that, it will tell you on the 22nd. Now, can you see that? The realized profit was $22. Okay, so this is about $500 account, okay, the capital, right? So means that $22 mean, imagine the order size, right? The order size would have been huge. Okay, this is, so although yes, there was no closure the day prior to it, it doesn't matter because the add orders were actually taking, DCAs and hedging were actually taking place, okay? So now let's go back, right? Because I want you to understand a few things, right? This is a very practical presentation I want to do it, right? So now if someone, right? If some of you, now if you look into USDC, right? We also have a position, but you see this position, it is still the same order size. That means there is no add order happen yet. There is no DCA happen yet. Now this is $1,000 account. So you can see 1%, right? It's a $10, $10. Now look at the estimate liquidation. So the liquidation will be further away. So there is no DCA yet because the ROE has not hit minus 50 or plus 50, right? Currently it's minus 12. So just imagine, right? If the price goes down and it hit minus 12, then you will see an add order, right? You will see the DCA takes place and the margin here will change because we have already configured we have already calculated the amount that is required in order to bring the ROE from minus 50 probably to minus 20 or minus 15, right? So this is important, all right? So, but you look at the estimate liquidation far away. Now, we go back again to USDC. Now you see the estimate liquidation. After 2 DCA, the liquidation is now 52,000. So that means that if Bitcoin price goes down and hit 52,000, then only you get liquidated, or else you won't get liquidated. But what is the difference between the liquidation and the mark price? I think it is around 59,000 points or something, right? So you are still far away, all right, from getting liquidated. And also this control is very, very critical to safeguard users' position. You see that? So now, the add order will continue, right? Will add order based on my strategy, depends on the ROE. Now ROE is positive, so no add order, no DCA required. Okay, all that we are waiting now is for this position to close. And if this position close at $29, that's a huge profit, right? You are talking about, you know, huge profit there, and then there will be a 70-25 split. Can you see that? So now if the market now, let's say the market go down, even go down further, right? Then this ROE will turn to become negative, and then we will continue to add order. But our goal of doing DCA is to make sure that the entry price is closer to the mark price. All right, so that if the market price reverses, it will then close faster. We can take the profit. That's what happened recently. And also when we do the DCA, remember your liquidation will come closer. Will come closer and closer. So, but the target here is 25,000. So we maintain your liquidation and your mark price 25,000 points away. So if you take your estimate liquidation and deduct by your mark price, okay, you will get, you will see around 25,000 difference. Okay, that is the standard. So now, once we hit the 25,000, what happened? What happened, right? Because just imagine if your sub account is depleted, you don't have fund anymore. We will still do the DCA, right? Let's say you are now your liquidation around 30,000 points. That means we can still do the DCA. So when we do the DCA, we will use your main account balance. All right, so we will continue. But if your position, if your estimate liquidation fall inside 25,000, fall below 25,000, then what happened? That's where the hedging will take place. Okay, so we are not doing hedging yet until your liquidation fall below 25,000. Hedging will only come. That can take you about DCA 6 or DCA 7 before the hedging come. But please understand, okay, even if we do the hedging, we have a control. So that means if you look into your margin, your position size, right? If you take the smaller amount and divide by the bigger amount, the margin we are now putting at around 0.2. So means we can continue to do DCA until 0.2 ratio. That is it. Once it hit the 0.2 ratio, we will stop the DCA. So now, if your sub account is not sufficient, then what happened? Then once the ratio hit 0.2, we stop the DCA. We will not do any more DCA and the hedging, right? We will not do that until you top up your sub account. So when you top up the sub account and JD Export recognizes there is a fund available, then we will continue the DCA. So you can see, right? So how many DCAs that the bot can do? We already programmed about 17 DCA. But how many DCA actually will be executed depends on your available balances in your sub account and also your main account. Can you understand me? So this is a very important insight. So that's the reason why if your so you need to, as a user, right, you need to balance your main account amount and your sub account amount. All right, because some of you may say that I want to put huge amount in my main, but then you sacrifice the 50%, right? Or you have to plan necessarily how you want to balance up if you want to go 100%, for example, right? So, but don't ever, right? Even if you see, for example, right, this account, I put about 500, currently it's about 509. Definitely there will be more. Why? Because of the sub account amount is now sitting here. And the reason why my liquidation is far away because of this amount. So don't go and remove this amount. All right, please, okay? Don't touch this amount. So some of you may see that, oh, I got more than 500. By right, it's only 500. Then you go and once you remove, what happened? Then your liquidation will come closer. It will then put your position at risk. All right, so this is a very important, okay? You cannot touch the amount that you already decided, and whatever taking place during this cycle, don't touch the bot, don't ever remove. Once the cycle completes, you can do. So for example, right, you see now if I go to my spot, I will see all my profit here. See that? I already have about $188 profit for all these three. All right, all these three, 1, 2, 3. Can you see that? So these are the profit, the pure profit, and this is your 100%. Remember, we have not deducted the 25%, right? Because the 25% will be deducted in your JDXBot back office, not here. Why? Because JDXBot don't have access into your BidGet account. So what you see here, right? Example, 103 is my pure 100% profit. So, but actually you need to send, or 25% from here will be deducted at JDXBot. So from this amount, right, normally what you do, you make sure that you transfer the 25% back into your strategy wallet so that your strategy wallet have sufficient amount for the profit sharing deduction to take place, which is 25%. All right. So this is important, okay, because we are sharing this amount here. All right. This is basically your what to say, the realized profit. Okay, this is basically the profit after deduction of BidGet fees will immediately sent over here. Now, please understand, if you look into the Copy Master, we don't have these features, right? These features is only available for JDXBot because JDXBot will immediately transfer your profit into your spot wallet. Now, can you withdraw this? Yes, you can just go and withdraw. Can you see that? Will this affect your futures account? No. Can you see that? Your futures account is your futures account. It will not be affected because that amount already, okay, the profit already transferred into your spot account. So now here, you can do whatever with this fund. All right. So if you are smart, you can even go to the trade over here, right? You can go and look for the tool. You can even go and convert. And here you can see that. So if the Bitcoin, let's say, for example, I have about 71 USDT. And if the Bitcoin price comes down, can I go and convert my USDT to BTC? Yes. You see that? So if Bitcoin price goes up, can I convert it back into USDT? Yes, you just swap it back. Can you see? BTC to USDT. All right? You can do vice versa if you are smart. Can you see that? Just by swapping it, because please understand, BidGet swapping is free. All right? You don't have to pay the fee. So you don't have to actually transfer this fund out and so on. So if you say, I want to convert my BTC to you, I can convert. If you want to convert your USDC, you can even convert your USDC to BTC. It's up to you. All right, you can do whatever you want to because this is your account. We don't have access to your account. This is your account 100%. Please understand. So this is the beauty of JDXBot, guys, because this is the first time ever in the industry, right, that you have 100% control of your own fund, and you are basically deploying your capital in your own account that you created with BidGet, and this account you have already done the KYC. All right, you have already done the KYC. Can you see that? So this is very important. Okay, so if you are new, you are listening to this, right? I hope this gives you clarity, right? And also, this is a very important decision when you are going to be involved with any companies, right? Because you want to make sure you have a control of your own fund, okay? But please understand, when we are trading, your fund is being managed by JDXBot, but we don't have access to your fund because remember, when you do the API setting, there is a permission setting, and in that permission withdrawal, you don't tick the withdrawal, right? The permission is not given. So because the permission is not given, we don't have access. Okay, so that's why JDXBot is an API algo trading, right? 100%. So the only way we can actually deduct your fee is when you go into your JDXBot back office, right? Then you will be able to see the deduction of the fees, take place over there. Okay, so I hope, all right, I hope this is clear now, all right. So, but the thing is that I think I'm actually updating the presentation and also probably the coming AMA session, right? I will explain to you a little bit more about the technicality of the sub account, of the main account, and when your sub account depleted, what happens to your hedging and all those information, right? Yes, you are right. Okay, I think we have a question. We have a very good questions in the chat, right? Now, you see, please understand, right? When we design a bot, we have to factor in as much DCAs as possible. Okay, because why? Because we are catering for the users, right? Now, please understand, some users, they might not have a big fund, right? So what they do, they come in with a minimum. So means $200, for your main account. So minimum, they say, okay, 50%, they come in with 50% first, because later on, they might use the profit or they might waiting for other fund to come later on in order for them to increase their trading account and also the sub account. So they will start with 50%. Some, they have the fund, right? They will immediately do 100%. So they put 200, they put another 200. Some, they even have more account, right? They put 200 and they put 400 in their sub account. So you can see that different users, right? So that's why at JDX Bot, we already factor in, because we know there are different users that have the availability of their capitals and so on. So as Wong asking in the chat, right? So if you put a 50% of your main account, absolutely, right? Your DCAs is only limited to 50%. So if you only have, let's say, $100, then your DCAs will stop. Not stop, but your sub account will be depleted at $100. At 100%, sorry, at 50%, right? Which is $100. So if the DCAs, let's say, for example, at that point, already 4 or 5 DCAs, and your sub account is depleted, doesn't mean the DCA will stop. The DCA will continue now using your main account. But the thing is that your estimate liquidation, because we also looking into the estimate liquidation, which is 25,000 points, right? So if your sub account is depleted, it doesn't matter, right? We still will be able to do the DCA using your main account until the estimate liquidation fall below 25,000 points. So please understand, just because your sub account is depleted doesn't mean that the bot will stop your DCA. No, we will continue your DCA. But if the estimate liquidation comes down below 25,000, then what happened? We have to stop the DCA, because if we continue to do the DCA, then your liquidation will be affected. So we have to safeguard the position, right? Because we make sure our top priority is to safeguard so that no one get liquidated. All right. And then once the DCA stops and your estimate liquidation below 25,000, what happened? You will see hedging takes place. Now, hedging will take place. You can see multiple hedging, right? You can see sometimes hedging can be 2 times, 3 times. It doesn't matter. What is happening when hedging is taking place? We are pushing your liquidation be above 25,000 back. So once your liquidation goes above 25,000, what happened? The hedging will stop. The DCA will continue. So you can see that this position will continue. This condition will continue until the position ratio now hit 0.2 ratio. The position ratio means this is the margin, right? Your margin or your order size of the hedging position over your main position. So once it reaches 0.2, what happened? Even the hedging will stop, the DCAs will stop. So at that point of time, nothing will happen to your bot unless you go and top up your sub account. But other users who have 100%, who have 150%, who have 200%, they might continue to see their hedging taking place, their DCA taking place. High likely, right? If the market reverses, their position will close first. Your position will close later because you have your sub account is depleted, right? Because you are not able to top it up. So can you see that? So that's the reason why it is a well thought intelligence that has been put into the algorithm so that it will cater for users, even if you have a 50%, 100%, 100 doesn't matter, right? But the maximum we have done so far, the DCA is already been built in for 17 DCAs. Okay, but so far we only see probably by the recent experience, I think we only did probably about 7 or 8 DCAs, and then the market reverses. So please understand, guys, this is how it works, okay? Now, please understand. How long do you think your enemy can shoot you down? All right? They can only shoot you until their bullet is depleted, right? So this is the war between the red army and the green army, right, in the battlefield. So if you are in the battlefield and your bullet is already depleted or your bullet is getting lesser, you don't shoot much. You wait and you hear, right? Because if you are a trained soldier, you know exactly that pistol, right, or that machine gun or whatever. You know how many bullets are there because you are trained. That is technical, guys. Okay, you know already. So you are counting, right? The number of bullets. Oh, okay. Now the bullet is depleted. Then you ambush, right? So all that is where the market will reverse. So at the end of it, what I'm trying to say is that market will not always go down and down and down and never return. The beauty of Bitcoin is that it is always up and down. That's why we don't trade other assets, other coin, because some other coin, if it goes down, it goes down, it never goes up. But anything you pair with Bitcoin, it always goes up and down because we need this volatility, right? So that's the beauty about the choice of our asset. That's why we are doing USDT against BTC, USDT against BTC, and BTC, right, against USD. So that's the reason why we focus on BTC pairs, right? Because we know that there is always this up and down volatility. Can you see that? So this is very important for you to understand, because once you know the attitude, right, the behavior of the market. So that's why if you ask me, right, JDX bot is best if there is a volatility. If the market can move, you see, if the market can move 5,000-6,000 every day, 5,000, 6,000, 5,000 range, we will be gaining a lot of profit. But if the market stops and moving sideways between 500, 1,000 range, like what happened, right? Then there is not much activity. You will be bored because the market is not moving. So that's what I'm trying to say, right? Even if you are the best trader or you have the best strategy, there is still one more factor that you cannot control, which is the market. All right, which is the market. So if the market move 5,000 up and down range is fantastic. But if the market move, 1,000, or 500 points, right? You can't do much. Can you force the market? You can't force the market. So if that takes you 5 days, you have to wait for 5 days. If that takes you 10 days, you have to wait for 10 days. And this is the real trading. That's why, right? Anyone comes to you and say that, hey, join me, right? Because we can give you 1% a day. My question is, if the market is not moving, where are they getting that 1%? You see that? So this is important. I think this time around, probably, right? I'm not so sure if you guys calculate what is the profit like. Although you waited, I think some is 11 days, some is 12 days. But the profit is very rewarding, right? So this is important. So that's why I'm telling you, I'm telling you, right? And I'm emphasizing that now the market reward the patience and the market punishes the impatient. Okay? So that's why if you are patient, you don't move by emotion, you don't make any wrong move, you will be rewarded. But if you are impatient and you start to make wrong move, you will be punished. So the market can either reward you or market can either punish you. It all depends on your emotions, in your patience, right? To be able to, wait. That is important. Okay, so that's the reason why, if you are looking for a fixed return, fixed ROI, this is not the place. Okay, because you can get very impatient because you are not seeing money. But imagine, right? On the 22nd yesterday, right? Everyone was happy. Why? because suddenly there's a huge profit. Okay, huge profit. Now look at my back office, right? I have about $100. Come on, guys, I can do anything with this $100 right? I can just go and spend it, or I can even actually compound it back, return it, or I can even go and swap it. I can do anything, but I'm rewarded because I waited. Can you see that? So this is important, right? This is important. So just helping you, giving you that macro understanding, right? I will go detail in the next AMA session, but today I just want to show you the practicality of it, because a lot of you, right, your understanding of trading is the conventional way of trading. That is the problem with you. You learn forex, you go and pay this guru, that guru, they teach you about TAs and so on. Now let me ask you one question. Yesterday, all right, based on TA, Bitcoin should go to 120,000. And 1.5 billions were liquidated long position. So now you tell me, does Bitcoin really care about your TA? And there were 1.5 billion got liquidated. Because Bitcoin doesn't care about the TA, guys. Okay, so Bitcoin is different, right? Because it is driven by behavior. And now the institutions are in. They don't care about your TA, guys. The institution don't have TA. They are hedgings. They are agents. They are market makers. They don't care about your TA. They wait for liquidity. Now, the reason why, let me just quickly show you something before I open for any questions, right? Now, the reason, let me ask you guys, what do you think the reason market is moving sideways? Why do you think? Like, look at it. Okay, market moves sideways. Why do you think the market moves sideways? Simple reason. They are waiting for liquidity. They wait and wait and wait for the liquidity to build, and then the market maker go and dump this, because they are now going to take all this money that is there. Everyone who long and thinking it is going to go up, they long, now they are being punished. You see that? So that is the reality of the trading, okay? Especially if you are going to be part and trading in crypto, you must understand the liquidity. It's very, very important. That's why I always show you, right? If you go back, sorry guys, if you go back, right, I always show you this liquidity chart, right? This heat map. So you have the liquidity. So if we go back to Bitcoin, right, you can see there was liquidity being built up, right? Can you see that a lot of this liquidity, let me go to 1 week, a lot of this liquidity were actually taken. Can you see that? Can you look at all this liquidity, right? All this liquidity were taken. Now the liquidity is building up here. You see that? Although the liquidity, we have about 184 million is now been building. Now, although there's a liquidity been built here, does the market maker going up? Not yet. They are not going to go up. They are going to actually basically move sideways, make everyone frustrated. Why? Because they are waiting for this to become probably higher than 184 million. It can be 300 million, 400 million, or 1 billion. Then they will move the price up to liquidate everyone here. You see that? So this is how the market makers are actually moved, guys. The institution work in such a way. So if you don't understand the liquidity, then this is where you are trapped. And then you are thinking that, oh, the TA tells me I should buy up. So what if the TA tells you you should buy up? All right, there are other factors involved, such as, the behavior, the fundamental analysis. That's why, remember, I shared with you, I told you that the Bhutan government is about to sell. Remember, I did put up there, right? So, see, all this insight is important. Some technical technician who do the TA, they are very arrogant. They don't care about news. All that they care, they say TA is the most accurate. Come on, if you don't care, then that is the reason why you got liquidated. Because I put up that news because I want to let you guys know that, that there are governments, there are, institutions waiting to sell. And that actually happened. All right. So these are very important balance between the fundamental and the technical, guys. It's very important. But the problem with a lot of traders, they're arrogant. Their emotions, right? They are very arrogant because they think they are smart. Oh, I am a qualified Elliott wave chart analysis. I'm a qualified Wyckoff, and so what if you are qualified? You are still at loss. Can you see that? So at the end of it, what is the most important thing? The most important thing is that I see profit in my spot wallet and my available balance is increasing, right? That is the end of trading, right? The end result that you want to see if you are really performing well is that your fund, your available balance are increasing, all right? And you have a profit. Now, that is the most important thing, right? At the end of it, right? Whatever it is. So it is not about what strategy you use, how good you are, what certification you have. No one bothers that, and the market doesn't really care. All right, market doesn't really care. Even if you are certified, so what? The market will still liquidate you because market doesn't care. The market makers doesn't care. The hedge traders doesn't care, right? They just do what they have to do because they are profit centric. All right, so that's why JD Export, we don't use TA, right? We use tactical strategy. So what we are doing here, right? Why? So if you look, you might be confused, right? If you look into the board, and if you go and see the new order that opened, right? So this is a Bitcoin. Can you see? The order size is the same, guys. 0.007, 0.007. This is a leverage amount, right? If you take the margin and you times 40%, you get your position size, which is your leverage. Now, it's the same. And nothing been happening for the past probably 9 or 10 hours, right? Market is not moving. It's just moving sideways. Can you see that? So now, why do we do this? Because this is tactical strategy. So what we have here is a teaser position. That's all. If nothing happens, nothing happens until the price move about 1,000 points. Then only the first DCA will take place, or else it won't, because we are not going to waste our money here. All right, so we wait. All right, the easiest will be, I think, USDT, right? So exchange. I put $1,000 here, right? We are now only using about $10 up, $10 down. That is it. Nothing has happened yet. Market has not really moved. But remember, 12 o'clock midnight today, right? About 12:45, Jerome Powell is going to give a speech. So why I'm telling you this? Because news, right? When Jerome Powell, the Fed chairman, give a speech, the content of his speech is very important because that is going to move the market. So now market is not moving, is showing no response. Why? They are waiting for the content of that speech, and then we will start to see the market move. All right, so we might see profit coming in because we have USDC that is waiting, and we might see DCAs taking place and so on, right? So can you see how all these things are gelling in together, right? All these are important. So it's not easy because you must know technical, you must know tactical, and you also must know the fundamental, right? Fundamental analysis is always about the news. Okay, watch out for the news and make sure the source is correct. All right, that is important, right? So this is why, okay, by God's grace, we are doing. I will say we are doing much better now, all right, by God's grace, and I hope that that this strategy will be able to deliver more and more profit in days to come. Now, please understand, as I mentioned to you, right? This strategy is for volatile market. So if the market move, right, 5,000, 6,000 points range, okay, fantastic, I tell you guys, we will be just enjoying profit and profit and profit. But if the market is not moving, it's a sideways, even a trader gets frustrated, all right? So that's why you see why we do the teaser position up and down, because market is moving, there is no movement. So we wait for breakout or breakdown. All right, so then only the DCAs will actually start. Okay, so that is how the technology or the intelligence of this algorithm, okay, been built into JD Export. Okay, but above all, please understand, as I always mention, right, safeguarding. So that's why we monitor the estimate liquidation. So you, from now on, okay, you will see the estimate liquidation is always around 25,000 from your mark price, because it is almost impossible for you to get liquidated if you have 25,000 trailing all the time. it is almost impossible. Okay, so the only responsibility of the user is what? You manage your fund. So if you have 50%, if you have 100%, if you got 150%, that will actually gives you a bigger leverage, and you will actually be in more control, or you will actually see the features, or the bot is working well for you and probably delivering much better profit compared to others who only comes in with 50%. So now moving forward, right, we even will actually change the requirement from 50% and make it 100%. But we don't want to do that yet, because we also are focusing on users who wants to come on board right at this time, and then later on they may increase the fund. So if you're already part of JDX bot, now mentally, right, and financially prepare yourself and increase to 100%. Because once you do that, then the new requirement in the new presentation, right, the new requirement will be 100%. So if you put 200 in your main account, you must have 200 in your sub account. So in that manner, right, I think we will not have this discrepancy between a 50% and the people who come in with 50% in the sub account and so on, right? So everyone comes in with 100%. High likely the DCAs can go on up to 10 DCA. That would be great. As I mentioned to you, how far do you think that the enemy is going to shoot you? At one point, the market will get weak. The market will have to reverse. So normally, right, 8 DCAs is like already a lot of too extended. Normally 5 or 6 DCAs, you will see the market reverse. All right. So these are years of experience trading in the futures market. So we understand the behavior of how the market actually works. That's why we only build the futures trading bot, because we know how it is. Okay. So that's the reason why. So the expertise I have is always about the futures trading, right? Okay, great. Okay, I hope, right? I hope this has been a very, very valuable session, because please understand, guys, there are a lot of this secret, okay, or the technicality behind of it. Our users must understand that makes JDX bot actually different, right? So that's why we don't follow any other strategies outside that. Any strategies that is based on TA will never be sustainable. Okay, will never be sustainable, because TA changes, market changes. There is no one fixed TA for all the market. No way. So you have to be tactical, and you have to tactical and mathematics is the two important thing, right? So it's all about mathematics and tacticality, and how you're going to put this into an algo. That's why you see, even if the bot outside there, they got technical analysis and they are proud they got AI, they still got liquidated. Okay, they still got liquidated. It doesn't matter how intelligent your AI is. All right, you can still get liquidated, because why? You are still following the TA. You see that? So that is the danger. And TA is so dangerous because it doesn't give you the same interpretation. Everyone interprets it differently. So if you use a TA, then you're going to be in trouble, because it doesn't. And one TA doesn't give you the full answer. You might need to have various TA, right? Various technical data and so on, in order for you to really get what you really want. But by the time you do all that TA, the market already left you. All right. So that's why we don't time the market. So you can see, right? We closed the position yesterday. We closed the position. We took the profit. After 5 minutes gap, the bot opens up a new position. We don't time the market. We don't care about the market. Okay? Because of the tactical strategy that we have put in. All right? So that is how it works. So in this manner now, we will have more positions open, right? But still, okay, please understand, there are two factors here, right? Strategy and market. We can have the best strategy. All right, I can even tell you this strategy can give you, certain profit, but still we are dependent on the market, as I mentioned, right? So if the strategy is a volatile strategy, but the market is moving sideways, there is not much movement, then we got no choice. We have to wait, because there is no strategy for sideways movement, okay? There is no point to do a strategy for that small movement. Your profit will not be that huge. So we always look for a bigger range, okay, of trading. That's why when the market moves, that's where we start to see DCA takes place and so on, that's where you start to see the profit. Okay, all right? Okay, any questions? I hope this is clear. I hope you guys are blessed with this insight and this information. All right, if you have any questions, you got any comments, you want to, share your experience, please do so. Okay, this will be awesome. Okay, anyone, you can raise your hand at the bottom or you can even put in the chat. Okay, that will be great. Anyone, guys? I hope you are blessed with this information. All right. I hope you are blessed. Yes, Obang, please unmute yourself.
Okay, doctor. For me, as far as the capital is in place, I don't care, because what we got yesterday takes care of the whatever time we were waiting. So I'm okay with the strategy. Absolutely, I'm okay with the strategy. We really appreciate. Personally, I really appreciate what you're doing. I've always told you I'm the happiest person. So once it closes in profit, and look like yesterday, unbelievable. So please keep doing what you are doing, and I believe some of our colleagues that are on here will also testify that it's good. Patience is the key. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
You're most welcome. Appreciate that insight and the input. So you can see, all right, if you are working like Obong, right? You see, because they are working offshore, they can be away from their home and so on, right? So that's why it's always advisable that your sub account amount is bigger. Don't go for 50%. Okay, if you are busy, like you are traveling for meetings, you don't have really time. You don't need to worry about the bot because the bot is being taken care. Your only worry is make sure you have sufficient fund. That's all. All right, put sufficient fund over there, and that is it. All right, the rest of it is taken care. You see, so you need to factor in those things. That's why I say, right, everyone should strive for 100%. Should be your minimum, actually, not 50%. 100% is your minimum for your sub account, so you match your sub account and the main account. Because please understand, guys, the success of JD Xbot is actually the wallet management. All right, your main account, your sub account is critical. Previously, remember, right, those of you followed me, we only have the main account. So every time it's depleted, we have to tell you, go and top up, go and top up, go and top up. Now we took that away by actually integrating the sub account. So with the sub account now, it regulates your main account, and that's why we are more consistent in the manner of the profitability and so on, right? So this is very important. So you can see, right, we are not here just to give you a solution, a technology, but we are continuously monitoring and finding ways how to improve the bot so that the bot can perform better, bigger profitability, but at the same time, we still want to safeguard our users' position. Okay, that is the most important thing. All right, the most important thing. Okay, great. So yeah, so this is what I want to do, and we are continuously, even actually continuously doing some R&D, continuously monitoring. That's why you see why this strategy is different. All right, that's why this strategy we have like an arbitrage concept, hedging concept. But please understand, right? As I mentioned in the previous AMA session, the JD Xbot is a counter trend strategy. We don't follow the trend. Everybody say your trend is your friend. Yes, until it doesn't become your friend, then you lose everything, right? So if you follow the trend, the problem is that you keep following until it reverses, you lose everything that you followed earlier. So that's the reality of the trend is your friend. Okay, so that's why we don't follow the trend. All right, we are counter trends as expert. All right, it's a counter trend. But with the counter trend, you need to make sure you have the hedging, you have the arbitrage, you have all these features built in, so that although it is a counter trend and the market can go against you, it doesn't matter, because you can still stand in the battlefield. All right, so that's why I say, you see, a lot of the people who are really successful in crypto, are those people who hodl, HODL, hold on their life. They hold to their Bitcoin, they hold to the coin for years. Now, please understand, right? I remember in, I can't remember the year, okay, I've forgotten, but Binance Coin was only 10 cents when they did the ICO. 10 cents. I remember because I bought some of those coin during the ICO. Do you know, guys, that last week Binance actually hit $1,000 for their coin? And I heard the guy who bought $100 worth of the Binance coin, sorry, he only got 100 Binance coin. He bought it and he kept it for 8 years. Just imagine that 100 Binance coin times $1,000, he became a millionaire. So the lesson here is this, guys. The lesson here is that, are you willing? It's all about patience, right? Can you see patience? So he had a patience, he waited, although it took 8 years, now he's rewarded, right? So it is what is called hold on dear life. Okay, you hodl, you trust and you believe in that system, in that coin, and you hold it because one day, right? You know that. So that's why the Binance owner, right? The CZ, they are serious people. They don't just, I think Binance is the first one, right? The Binance Exchange was the first ICO ever. And they started with 10 cents. Today, they are a very successful company. So a lot of the program or a lot of this new project that undergoes Binance incubation, that are huge prospect. That's why I was introducing those things, right? In the group, because I don't want you to lose those opportunity too. So all that you need to do, right? Sometimes is just buy, hodl, and wait. Simple as that, right? So it doesn't matter, right? Just hodl, right? Just wait for another 1-2 years, or probably wait for the bull run, and then the market go at certain your goal, right? How much do you want to make, right? So you make the certain amount that can really be helpful for you to pay off your debts, for you to pay off your, your mortgages, whatever. That is the goal, guys. Be debt free. The goal is debt free. Don't just come in because I want to earn. Earn for what? What is your end goal? What is the why that is driving you, right? So if you can be financially free, debt free, right? Debt free, so that you don't have to go borrow money from anyone anymore. All right, debt free. Pay off your car, pay off your house, pay off your, your children's education, pay off everything, so that at 40 years old you are debt free. Okay, don't be 70, 80 and you are still paying debt. And then you go and force your children, go work hard so that you can pay father's debt. Come on, that is a curse. You shouldn't do that to the next generation, right? So you should be a blessing to the next generation, not a curse to them. But in so many families today, that is what they do. You ask them, why you got 10 children? Oh, so that every one of them will give me 1,000 each. Come on, crazy, right? These are Asians, right? Asian Chinese, right? Crazy, so that they can pay off, whatever debt that daddy had, because I'm the one who sent them to school after all. Yes, you can be so justified and so true, but do you know that now you are actually impacting their future, because they don't want to get married, they don't want to have family, because if they do so, they don't have enough for them, because they now have to take care of you. Can you see that? So this is the problem in a lot of the families today, right? So if you want to go into something, make sure you have a plan. All right, have a strategy, and imagine if you can pay off your debt in the next 2-3 years instead of waiting for 20 years. All right, it's possible, guys. With crypto, it's possible. All right, it is possible. Anything can happen in 5 years. Sometimes that coin value can go up so much that you can actually just liquidate and set everything in order in your life. All right, so that is what I'm doing. All right, I'm introducing you few coins that I think that there is some potentials over there. But also I want to know who is backing those coins, who is behind it, so that we are only putting our money into certain things that has the potential, future potentials, that there will be no rug pull and so on. So this is the reason why I shared. So I just shared, right? Anybody wants to go and do it, they can go and and go and do it. There is no compulsion, nothing, no obligation, right? So I just share that in our community. So only our community knows about it, right? No other people know. So take advantage of it, okay? Some of this insight that I'm putting up there. So if you are part of JD Wealth Maker, take advantage of whatever insight. If you are, even if you are not happy, right? Don't bother about it. All right, just let go. Okay, if you are not interested, if you don't like anything I introduced, just don't bother. Don't respond. It is fine. Okay, but don't stop others. Okay, who are taking that opportunities. Okay, okay. Yeah, it's good, guys. Actually, even if you don't sign up yet, it is fine. Come and join us because there are things that you can learn you might not even get otherwise, okay, in other places. So just come, continue to join, increase your knowledge, understand. I think that is the most important thing. And when you are ready, while you are learning, prepare your money. Okay, prepare your money while you are learning, because one day when you are able to invest, that investment will help you to learn. Now you learn first. Okay, you learn and make sure you go and gather the money, because one day once you invest, that investment will help you to learn more. Okay, so please understand, right? The more you learn, the more you earn. All right, the more you learn, the more you earn. It's not the other way around. All right, the more you learn, so you have to learn. The more you learn, the more you understand, the more you are acquainted to the market, the more you know what you are doing. Until you master it, you will start to earn. All right, so the more you learn, the more you will start to earn. Okay, that is important. And also, it's always important the connection. Who are you connecting with? Are the people who are teaching you genuine? Do they really want to see you doing better? Okay, or are they actually want to pull you down and use you to profit from you? So these are very important, right? Because if your alliance is wrong, everything you are building can crush down. All right, so your alliance must be right. Okay, you must join the right people. Make sure you know their background, their connections. Who are they serving, right? Who are they? All this I think is very important. All right, so that's why you don't want to put your money into someone or some platform that you don't know the background. It's very dangerous. Okay. And at this time, everyone is looking for your money. So be very careful, all right? Be very careful, all right, where you put your money, and make sure that you have a full control of your own fund, okay? That is the most important, okay? All right, great. Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Appreciate, those appreciative words, the kind words, that you're putting up in the chat. And thank you so much for your thoughts. So today I just thought that we make the presentation a little bit different. So that when I get the new slide out, then we will start the presentation. But nevertheless, these are very important insight, okay, how the strategy work and so on, okay? And I hope that it has been a blessing. Anyone else have any other questions before we adjourn today's presentation? Anyone else? Yes, Obong, please unmute yourself.
Okay, doctor, I forgot when I made the first comment. I said, please don't forget the mentorship program. You have said once you are less busy with the JDS board and the copy master, that you will introduce that, because there are some folks that have been asking about that mentorship. Then the second one will be the Asta, that's the coin you introduce. You how we can buy it. I think those are the two that I have, the two questions I have for now. Thank you so much. God bless.
Yeah, okay, all right. So I think maybe we will cover that. If you look, I think if you look into Asta, right? Just quickly, let's just go to the coin market cap. So if you go there, right, you can see. Yeah. Okay, look at this, guys. The coin is now around $1.90 already. Okay, I think when I introduced to you guys, it's around $1.60, $1. I'm not so sure, but I came in at around 70 cents. Right, I was actually still accumulating this coin, okay? And the market cap now, can you see from 2.5 billion when I introduced to you, now it's already 3.2 billion. Now, these are very important statistics, right? So as the market cap grows, the price is going to go further up. I'm expecting at least about $10 to $15. Might be about $20 to $25, right? Will be a great, because please understand, guys, this Aster, right, is actually a competitor to Hyperliquid. All right, so if you look into Hype, okay, Hyperliquid. So Hyperliquid is a decentralized exchange. So you can see now their market cap is around 15.8 billion. Okay, and the price is around, I think when they are about 20 billion, is around $50. So look at it, okay? If Aster price can take 50% of this market cap, Aster will be around $20 to $25. Okay, so that is the beauty about this Aster, because Aster is actually a direct competitor to Hyperliquid. And Hyperliquid, we don't know who backed this project, but please understand, Aster was backed by Binance. All right, Binance is backing Aster because they are basically a incubator project under Binance. And what makes Aster different is that they have their own exchange. So in the future, I'm going to help you guys to trade using Aster exchange. So we might be actually exploring Aster decentralized exchange, because in the future, right, we will have less centralized exchange, more decentralized exchange. And number two is that the Aster exchange is so beautiful because they have what they call a dark pool. Dark pool means you can be trading and you can actually hide your order size, your lot size, so that other people don't know through the chain analysis. They don't know what is your order size. So that means big institutions who want to trade millions and millions of dollars, they will use Aster because they can hide their order size. Can you see? So these are brilliant. Okay, these are the first ever decentralized exchange where user can actually have the complete privacy of the lot size that they are trading. So that's why Aster is different than Hyperliquid. Now, another thing is that Aster will also use the fees. Okay, so they are charging the fees. Okay, I think that if you use Aster, they will give you, I think they will reward you with 5% when you are trading in their platform, and you can use that to actually pay your fees and so on. That is huge, okay? But also, please understand, they will take that fees, I think probably about 90% of the fees, to buy back Aster coin to burn it. So now, please understand, guys, when you have this kind of ecosystem in place, the price will actually continue to go up because they are going to buy back and burn it, destroy the coin. So there will be less supply. And when there is a less supply, the value will go up. So see, guys, you must understand what you are getting involved, okay? Don't buy the shit coins and all these coins, because go and check the tokenomics and understand exactly. The biggest question is that how are they going to add the value of that token, right? It's important. So this kind of tokenomics are very critical. And now if you have billions of capitals being traded in this platform, just imagine what will be the price. So I'm not expecting the price to go to $50 like Hyperliquid. I'm only taking 50% of the market cap. So Hyperliquid market cap has hit about 20 billion. So just take 50% of that 25 billion. All right. We will be at least around $20 to $25, right? Now let's do a calculation. If you have 1,000 Aster coin, okay, and if that coin is $20, what is the value? $200,000. Isn't that not enough? and it is now only going to hit $2, right? So as I mentioned, the other thing is that now, please, when I talk this kind of thing, people get excited, they go and buy everything. Don't do that. Do DCA. Can I ask you guys, can you buy one ester every day at $2? Yes. Okay, just every day buy one ester. Stop your smoking, stop your whatever you are wasting your money, $2 every day, right? Or every week, can you buy one ester if you cannot do daily? Every week, just do DCA. Every week, you go buy one ester. One ester, just keep it. So imagine, right? In 6 months or in 1 year, right? How many number of weeks? How many ester will you have? So if you say, I don't have the money to go and buy now, who asked you to do that? That is wrong. You see, this is the problem with us. We don't want to do small steps and build up until the price goes up and then we take our profit, right? We always want to go big. That is the wrong move. That's why if the price drop, then you lose everything. So you do DCA, right? You buy a fixed amount on a fixed interval. So if you say I want to buy one ester, right, every week, so in a month you will have 4 ester already. Can you do that? It can be done, guys. It's all about strategy, right? It's all about planning. So if you have the money, if you ask me, if you got JD Export giving you profit, you can just go and probably do 10 ester every week. Or you can buy, 20 ester every month. So it's up to you. You must have the plan. So every time you buy, you have a log. You have a log, you write down, today I bought 10 ester, the ester price is how much? Have a log so that at the end of it, you know how much you have invested. And if the price goes to $20 by then, just imagine. You see that? So I do the same too. I just keep, so every time the price drop, I go and buy. But if you don't want to time the market, just keep it simple. Every day, just buy one ester, or every week, just buy whatever amount you want. But make sure you are disciplined and you consistently do that. So if you say, I want to buy ester for the next 6 months, and every week I want to buy, let's say, 5 ester. So you must fix that first. Once you have that fixed and put it on the paper, now what you do? Wait, every week on Monday, I'm going to buy 5 ester. Keep doing that for the next 6 months. After 6 months, you stop. Then you wait for the price to hit $20, $25, and then you liquidate. You have now probably, $30,000, $40,000 or $50,000. Go and pay off all your debts. That is it, guys. Finish the story. Now, only people with this kind of strategies and plan actually become successful. Don't go in, Dr. John shared this. What is your plan? That's why then when you fail, you blame me because you don't have a plan. Am I right? That's what happened to most people. That's why I don't introduce anything. I remember I introduced some program. People don't have a plan. They go in, no plan, nothing. And then when the company collapsed, they blame me for it because I introduced those program to them. But it is their own. It is their own mistake. It is their own, it is their own problem, actually. They didn't have a plan. You see that? So that is important. Okay, so this is what I do, guys. This is what I do. So that's why I teach people DCA, right? So DCA is very, very important. It's a very disciplined. You must decide. Don't keep changing, right? You decide, okay, next 3 months, I'm going to buy 2 ester every week. Can you do that? Yes. It's only like $4. Come on. Are you telling me you don't have $4 every week? Some of you got a bigger money, you can probably have a bigger target, right? 10 ester every week. But make sure you have a log. Okay, create an Excel spreadsheet and put a date. Okay, on Monday every week, I'm going to buy 10 ester. That is your target. Okay, and I will do this for the next 6 months. Okay, so put your due date. Your deadline, due date is when? So now you start. You wait for every Monday, right? Put a log there. Every Monday, put a date. I just bought. So how to buy? Simple. If you have a Trust Wallet, all right, if you got a Trust Wallet, you can actually send in your, you can actually what to say? You can generate the token in your Trust wallet. Okay, maybe I will do that in the next AMA session, and I will show you guys how to do that. Okay, because I use a Trust wallet. Because remember, this is a Binance chain, right? Binance chain. So all you need is a USDT. So you send the USDT to your Trust wallet, Binance, BNB, right? Binance chain, and then you swap to Aster in Trust wallet. That is it. Simple as that. All right, simple as that. Because at the moment, I don't see Aster is available in. You cannot buy Aster in Bitget, but I think soon there will be. But do you know you can trade Aster now in Bitget? I'm actually trading Aster in Bitget, so I'm also actually earning. The trading is actually earning in USDT, but when I get the USDT, I can actually send the USDT to Trust wallet and buy Aster, right? By swapping it. So I'm also trading Aster actually. Okay, I'm trading Aster so that I can earn more Aster. So that's the beauty of it. And then in the future, we might even explore Aster decentralized exchange, where we can even do our futures trading using Aster exchange. All right, that is the product. That is their product. That is why I will say, right, this is a unique project. I like this project. It's a unique, right? So Aster actually, so if you look, right, example, right, let me just show you a few things before we adjourn. These are just bonus for you guys if you ask, right? So you can see in my watch list, right? I got Aster, and I got, this is Avantis. Now Aster is backed by Binance. Avantis is backed by Coinbase. All right, both of these I think is going to be a very, very strong coin, right? A very, very strong coin. Okay, so but nevertheless, at the moment I just introduce you guys to Aster because I see Aster has more potential. You see, although market is down for the rest, Aster already up. All right, Aster already up. So I went in at 70 cents. Now it's $1.95. Just imagine that, right? So easy, right? Easy money making when you know the timing, you position yourself, and you are consistently doing it for 3 months, 6 months. Nothing is forever. Don't do things forever. Determine the time length, okay, time frame. Do it within that time frame. Finish it, cash out your money, take the profit, walk away, and go and look for something else. Can you understand me? Don't stay there forever. Oh, Bitcoin forever. Nothing is forever, guys. All right, nothing is forever, because if you forever, somebody else take the profit, they bring the price down, and then you regret you didn't sell it earlier, right? Don't do that. All right, or take 50% partial profit. Do a partial profit, recover your capital. After that, you go. But this whole understanding about DCA is actually discipline. Okay, you must be consistent. So look into your financial first. Okay, look into your financial. Okay, I can buy one Aster every day for the next 6 months. Awesome. So that means you're going to have 30 Aster a month times 6, right? That will be about 1,800 Aster in the next 6 months. Wow. 1,800 times $20. What do you think will be the value, the future value by that? Can you understand me? Or you can, okay, I want to just go get 1,000. So divide 1,000 by 12 months. All right, divide 1,000 by 12 months, and then you get your monthly. Divide monthly by 4 weeks if you're doing it weekly, or divide by 30 days if you want to do it daily. So that's all right. So you must have the end target. You see that? Come on, guys. If you think like this, I can assure you, you will be successful because you have a plan. And then stick to your plan and continue to do it until you reach that goal of 1,000 Aster. Don't sell along the way. Don't. Until you get 1,000. Allow the market, allow the price to go up. You see that? This is the problem with the Bitcoin holders, right? They sell along the way. If they have not sold and they waited for the 100,000, I think a lot of them would have actually, more people would have become millionaires. You see that? So that is the duration. Okay, as I mentioned, right? Binance. Tencent, the guy waited for 8 years until he became $1,000, and now he's a millionaire. 8 years, guys. Even if you, that's why I told you guys, a lot of the people who become millionaire, they do nothing. And here we are doing everything, tiring ourselves, and thinking that, oh, if I don't work, I cannot. Come on. This generation is different. The opportunity you have, sometimes you do nothing. Warren Buffett, he buy a stock, he waited for 30 years doing nothing. Doing nothing is the most difficult thing for human race because they are so busybody doing everything. And now you tell them you do nothing. You just earn, they don't believe this is too good to be true. It's going to be a scam. No, I'm not saying doing nothing and you join scam. No, I'm saying do nothing. If you have a strategy, you know what is your strategy, you get into it, you do nothing, you don't touch. Doing nothing here means don't touch your asset before it reaches the goal or the target you have set. The problem with people is that they are not able to do that. Okay, so so I think so I think maybe we will arrange maybe I will see whether I will do a special training on Thursday, this coming Thursday. All right, it's not an AMA session, but probably I will do a special AMA to help you guys, okay, to get involved because you don't have much time. When you have the opportunity, don't wait. Jump in, then learn later. All right, when you have the opportunity, jump in and learn later. Okay, doesn't matter. All right, because you know where the opportunity, the source of the opportunity, right? So a lot of people, they analyzing until they become analysis paralysis, right? And then by the time they complete all the analysis, the price already 20,000. It is too late for you to get in. All right, so that is a simple rule. Okay, I get in and I lost, doesn't matter. Okay, that is normal, right? If you get in, and then you lost, it doesn't matter. Just take it as a risk. All right, but what if the price goes to 20,000? Sorry, $20. All right, so that's what I meant. Okay, what if now from $1.95 it becomes $5 next week? Then Dr. John introduced us when it was $1.60, and now it is already $5. All right, so it always happened, right? So, but anyhow, I'm only putting up things that I think there is a potential. That's why I talk about XRP too, right? Yes, XRP got a lot of negativity and so on, but what if suddenly the price goes to 100,000? You might be crying. All right, you might be crying because you thought that it will never happen. All right, so but nevertheless, anyhow, thank you guys. God bless each and every one of you. I think this has been awesome. Okay, so you can spend about an hour, 1.5 hours with me every week. You can learn a lot of things. Okay, so but nevertheless, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for coming on board. I will put up this video in our YouTube channel, JD Xbot. So make sure you have the link, join the YouTube channel so that you get all the updates. All right, and also I will post this in the group. Some of this information, right? I think if people really listen to it, they can take advantage of it. Okay. All right, guys. Please understand whatever I introduced to you, right? I don't have any commissions, nothing, right? I don't have anything, right? So I'm just introducing to you. If you want to take it, you take it. You don't want, doesn't matter. All right, because I don't have any personal interest into it. Okay, so please understand that because I just invested into it and I thought that it will bless you guys too. So it's just basically with that noble intention I'm sharing with you. So if you want to take it, you take it. If you don't want, don't bother about it. Okay, because I don't want anyone to come in and then later you blame me because I shared with you, because I don't have any interest to earn anything from you from there, right? It's only basically I'm sharing so that you can earn yourself and change your own financial life. All right, that is it. So you must have a plan, guys. Okay, make sure to have a plan. Don't go in, oh, because I was introduced, I think I'm just going to go in, and don't do that. You must have a conscious plan. That's why always good to have a spreadsheet, write down your plan and then follow through, because after 6 months you look back, oh my goodness, I have accumulated 100 Aster coin. I never imagined. And if imagine by then if one Aster is $20, wow, isn't that awesome? $20,000 for doing a simple things for the past 6 months. Who is going to give you $20,000, right? Can you see that? So that is how it works, right? That is how it works. Okay. So God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you. I really appreciate, your supports and so on. God bless each and every one of you. We will catch up probably this Thursday. Okay. I don't want to promise, but let me check my schedule. If it's possible, I will probably do a special training for the Esther. Okay, for the Esther. Okay. All right. God bless you all. Let me unmute you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Jetty. Thank you. God bless you. We appreciate it.
Okay, you are unmuted. God bless you all. Take care, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Doctor. God bless you. God bless all.
Thank you so much.
God bless you. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.